We will now discuss learning styles in the classroom. Before we try to understand what we mean by learning styles in classroom context, let's try to figure out what learning style actually means. The term learning styles refers to the understanding that every student learns differently. So it is about having or developing the understanding that individuals have their own specific different needs and therefore they develop different learning styles. In a class, teacher comes across group of mixed ability students ranging from having the proficiency level which varies from below average to average and yes, above average. And you would hear teachers saying that this particular student is in terms of performance better than maybe A student is better than B or C and so on. Reason is that since their abilities vary, therefore their learning styles also vary. The synonymous of this term is preferences or preferential approach. Technically, an individual's learning style refers to the preferential way in which the student absorbs, processes, comprehends, and retains information. So every learner has his or her own preferences according to which he gets into the process of learning. So we cannot sort of follow or have this straitjacket for each and every student. Howard Gardner, in 1983, he's a professor of education at Harvard University, proposed the theory, or you can say model, of multiple intelligence. This theory differentiates different type of intelligences and it differentiates human intelligence into specific modalities instead of looking at it as just one ability or one general ability. So these intelligences include verbal linguistic intelligence, visual spatial intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, musical rhythmic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, and naturalistic intelligence. So there are around 8 different types of intelligences that he has come up with. So you can see that since there's so much of variety of intelligences, therefore it is difficult to focus on a single learning style when you are to deal with diversified type of students. So let's try to see some of the types of learning styles which come under the understanding of learning style in classroom. Now you can see there is auditory and musical learners. Auditory learners like to hear solutions and examples explained to them and may gravitate towards music subjects and group learning as a way to understand information. Auditory learners often have a high aptitude for distinguishing notes and tones in music and speech. Qualities often associated with this type of learners include possessing good ear for music, likes to talk to self and others and sing, etc. Then we have visual and spatial learners. Visual spatial learners like diagrams, drawing out concepts, charts, processes. They learn by looking visual concepts, creating them and watching other people create them. Now these kind of learners often possess the following qualities. They are observant, they are not easily distracted, they enjoy playing, they prefer visual instructions. Then we have verbal learners. Verbal learning includes both writing and speaking. Verbal learners might have a preference for reading and writing, word games, and poems. Some qualities associated with verbal learners include intellectual, good storyteller, bookworm, etc. Verbal learners often seek out careers in journalism and writing, administration, law, and politics. Physical or kinesthetic learner, commonly called Hands-on learners. Kinesthetics prefer to physically engage with the materials on the subject matter. Some qualities associated with physical learners include preference to get their hands dirty, which means they would like to do things themselves, action-oriented and outgoing, very energetic, and so on. Physical learners represent about 5% of the population and gravitate towards careers with lots of hands-on work like emergency service, physical education, and sports. Social and interpersonal learners show preference towards groups and collaboration. Some, but not all, will gravitate towards leadership within group. Some of the qualities often associated with this type of learner include extroverted, good communicator, sensitive and empathetic. So it is important for educators or teachers to understand that not all learners have similar learning styles, and therefore they need to incorporate this information in their classroom teaching. So identifying your students as visual, auditory, reading, writing, or kinesthetic learners and aligning your overall curriculum with these learning styles will prove to be beneficial for your entire classroom. Allowing students to access information in terms they are comfortable with will increase their academic confidence.